Louis Vuitton has been awarded $584 million in a lawsuit against a shopping center and flea market area for counterfeit goods. And on the heels of my last video, we're going to talk about it. Yeah, welcome back to the channel, you guys, and today we're going to talk about a crazy story out of Atlanta, Georgia. Before I do, I just want to let everyone on the channel know that we have two amazing offers today. Filming this, it's Sunday, October 5th, 2025. Fourth quarter officially has started. This will be our first full week. Our automated listing service, Easy Lister, is live. You upload your photos and it creates your entire listing for you through eBay. I'm going to put links below where you can sign up for 5 free credits, no strings attached, 5 absolute free credits just by creating an account. You can also purchase credits for 10% off. They're normally 50 cents a listing. You can get them for 45 cents a listing if you buy them today. I'll put both of those links below. And there'll also be a video to demo that service. If you want to see how it works and how to use it, there'll be a demo video. So I'll put all 3 of those links, 1, 2, 3 in a row. And then below that, you can email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com for our second offer of today. If you want to partner with me on our Q4 project, our wholesale and reselling project that we are closing up to get going on fourth quarter. I am buying a massive amount of wholesale inventory, liquidating it, flipping it, selling it individually, selling it in boxes, selling it in lots. A lot of you know I do this. I am selling a ton of it this fourth quarter, and I want to scale it up as big as I can, and I am allowing some people to come on board as a partner with me. If you want to partner with me, please email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. It is a financial partnership, so please know that. Just send me an email. I'll give you the details, and we'll get you set up. Let's jump into this story. Louis Vuitton, $584 million lawsuit, and we're going to hear all about it. Yeah, this week in Atlanta, Georgia, just up the road from me, about 5 hours, a judge has awarded Louis Vuitton $584 million in a lawsuit they brought against a Georgia owner of a shopping mall for counterfeit goods. We talked about this in my last video. People on WhatNot, people on other platforms, but primarily WhatNot, selling counterfeit goods and also some stolen merchandise coming through. But there is so many fakes and people leave it in reviews all over the place. This story, far from surprising, and I think a lot of you who watch my videos are going to know exactly what this is all about. This is one of the largest judgments ever. Listen to this craziness. This is from BOF, and it's Lee Takanashi who wrote this. A U.S. federal judge, and I will screenshot this and we'll look at the rest of the case as we go through this. A U.S. federal judge has ordered the owners of a Georgia shopping center to pay Louis Vuitton $584 million in damages and one of the largest ever penalties tied to the sale of counterfeit goods. That's over $500 million, you guys, well over $500 million, by 84 million actually. Louis Vuitton sued the Westgate shopping mall owner, and I'm going to butcher his name here, Basaroy Kabe, and chief executive Aaron Kabe in April of 2023. So over 2 years ago, they were sued, alleging that the retail facility hosted an indoor flea market where counterfeit goods were sold on a vast scale. They are not the only ones. They're not the first, they're not the last, and they're not the only ones. You could go to any flea market in this area in Florida, anywhere on Canal Street in New York City, anywhere in the shopping district, San Francisco, Little China, all that stuff, and you will find counterfeit Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci, Prada, you name it, you will find it. This is not the only place, and it's not the only place who's done it at this scale. Listen to how many bags, how many items these people had in one little shopping mall. In August of 2021, 18 tractor trailers containing over 250,000 counterfeits were seized by law enforcement agencies at the Westgate, with 72,000 of those items, about 30% of them, bearing the Louis Vuitton trademark, according to this judgment. 250,000 counterfeit goods. But you people want to tell me when I say WhatNot and other platforms are full of these counterfeits that it's not that common. Yes, it is. There are more counterfeit goods than there are legitimate goods by far, period. The filing described the seizures as one of the largest seizures of goods bearing counterfeit Louis Vuitton trademarks in the U.S. history. The ruling from the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia was issued on September 22nd, 2025, reported by the Fashion Law. According to Fashion Law, Louis Vuitton's victory is the largest to ever be awarded in the U.S. counterfeit goods case, exceeding a $144.2 million judgment awarded to Gucci against counterfeiters in 2013, some 12 and a half years ago. More fake goods are making their way onto the luxury e-commerce sites amid a rise in fraud. Rather than building an expensive authentication system, retailers are taking alternative measures to identify shady customers and maintain their consumer trust. Well, eBay's done a great job of it. They were sued many, many years ago. They had a lot. eBay's got a really good authentication system and authentication warehouse. They have procedures and policies in place they've been working on for a decade, maybe 2 decades. eBay does amazing. Amazon also has very, very strict policies as far as gating, as far as authentication. They are on top of it. There are other places, the RealReal, StockX, all those other websites, that have things in place. However, WhatNot doesn't have anything in place. Not officially, and certainly not on the level of an eBay or an Amazon or any of these other sites. People are on there holding up their bag going, hey, Louis Vuitton bag starting at $1, and then it gets bid up to $50 and they sell it. Look, these are $1,000 bags, $2,000, $3,000 Speedy bags that are selling for $50 and $100 on WhatNot. Guys, Louis Vuitton is not liquidating merchandise so that little Timmy on WhatNot can take his bags and put them up for $1 and sell them to you for $50. It does not happen. Not Louis, not Gucci, not Prada, not Coach, not Aloe, not Lululemon. These companies do not need to liquidate their merchandise. They never have, and they never will. In fact, if they have extra merchandise, some of these companies, including Burberry, at least in the past, burn and destroy and cut up excess merchandise rather than liquidate it at a lower price, which diminishes their perceived value. This is what these companies operate on. You are buying a name, right? When I hold up this Coach purse and it's $300 and I hold up this Walmart purse and it's $50, well, that's because you're paying for the Coach name or the Prada name, right? The materials can be better quality, of course. There are some other things, but to be $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 Birkin bags, $10,000 Birkin bags is not because they're worth $10,000 in extra craftsmanship. It's because you're paying for a name, and that name is a perceived value, perceived amount of money that you are willing to spend on that bag in order to have a legitimate Birkin, Hermes, whatever the bag is, right? And if not, if you start seeing these bags liquidated by legitimate liquidators who actually work for Louis Vuitton or Louis Vuitton themselves, you're gonna say, oh, that bag's not a $10,000 bag anymore. Now it's only a $300 bag. They're not gonna allow that. And they're certainly not going to liquidate to a guy at a flea market or some bozo on WhatNot. Imagine a $100 billion company. Louis Vuitton is owned by one of the richest guys in the world, hundreds of billions of dollars. Liquidating their merchandise. Let's just say for a second they had to liquidate pallets and pallets of stuff, right? They're moving on. They're getting rid of an entire line of bags. They're going to start fresh with some new bags. Do you think they're going to call Little Adil on WhatNot and say, hey man, hey buddy, let me sell you our 5,000 Louis Vuitton bags. We're going to sell them to you every week for the next years and years. No, absolutely not. They're going to call Nordstrom. They're going to call Dillard's. They're going to call any of these big higher end stores that they already do business with in the past or currently. And they're going to say, hey, we've got a warehouse full of bags we need to get rid of. Can we send a pallet to every one of your 400 stores across the country? They're not going to call some bozo, some loser on WhatNot to put it in his little 3,000 square foot building in the middle of Santa Monica, California. It just doesn't happen, guys. These people telling you they're getting pallets and pallets of Lululemon and Louis Vuitton and Prada and Gucci are lying to you. They're either fake, they're stolen, or at the very, very, very long shot, they have gone to outlets and other places and bought up some of this merchandise and stacked it up for years and years and years. But I ask you, who's going to go to the outlet and spend even decent money on a bunch of inventory and then just set it to the side and hold it for months and months and months and months in order to get up a pallet, 2 pallet, 3 pallets worth of merchandise and then start having sales? and then be able to do it again in a month and again in a month. These people are doing it all the time. Their stuff is fake. Their stuff is stolen, fell off the back of a truck, whatever it is, 99.999% of the time. Are there exceptions? There's always exceptions to every rule. Are there exceptions to this rule? Commonly, no. You set 1,000 WhatNot sellers down in front of me, not the everyday honest sellers, not Ryan Roots or Josh or any of you honest people making an honest living. I'm talking about the big, brash, loud WhatNot sellers that got pallets of this and pallets of that. Sit them down in front of me. Let's go one by one by one. And I want an FBI agent sitting right next to me. I guarantee you 99.99% of them will leave that building in handcuffs. Just saying, guys. I'm just saying. And I'm going to use the words of somebody who's been in the news lately. Prove me wrong.